get this off my chest, dude. So this topic, it's more of a random rant, a random dump rant. Of course, I'm gonna discuss about my dump again, but it's just more about, the fact that I might just, my chances of getting a new one are just in, I wouldn't say severe danger, but, based on the talks of moving to a new state, moving to a new state, going into, who knows if it's going to happen later this year or the end of this year or next year or what have you. So my mom and I just went back and forth about my job hunting situation, and she simply suggested that I just wait, stay put. Yeah, you heard this. Stay put in my dump. And so also suggested that I find a new job, remotely, in the new state that we're planning to move to, and just start work from there, so that when we do officially move to that new state, whether it's the end of this year or sometime next year, then at least I can continue my new job over there, this time in person, right? So I do get that makes sense, assuming that the job that I have is a new job and not my dump. She's not wrong, but unfortunately I'm still in my dump that I've been desperately needing to get out of for the longest time. It's just been a drag, left and right. You see, that's why I'm trying to avoid talking about my dump so much. And right now, with my 2026 shoot-around season going on, I haven't been able to do much, podcast content because of these games. And right now, we're just like a month in, or a month and a half in of the regular season, and sometimes I may just have 2 or 3 edits to do, and the only reason why I'm doing I have 2 more edits now, both for last Monday and last Monday and Wednesday, and the reason why it's taking so long is because I have new templates, starting in the month of June. I wanted to have the new templates, plus my new thank you for the friendship slideshows that I just worked on earlier this morning. So I already got that set, right? But for the most part, I may just find myself doing less podcasting content, unless my content is really, really short. I'm talking about perhaps like 6 minutes or less. But a lot of my content has just been it's been pretty long, sometimes ridiculously long. It just depends on what the topic is. If it's any of my friendship topics, ex-close friends or current friends, that may just last 15, sometimes 20 minutes long. If I gotta provide a lot of details, references, and just past past examples of past happenings to back up the particular topic about my ex-close friend, right? Ex-close friends or what have you, current friends, right? I know I have a tendency to reiterate myself, and the only reason why I do that is because for those who are watching or listening to my content, if I were for whatever reason just veer off into just talking different points, and I always want to make sure I reinstate so everyone can listening to my videos can remember what I'm talking about, right? I always want to retrace, the main part. That I have a tendency to do that. I know ex-close friend Dewey, when he saw my video about, the birthday money situation, he said I had a tendency to repeat. He said I'll repeat like 3 or 4 times. But I have a tendency to do that. I know repetition, it can be a good thing sometimes, but not in a sense where it's too much. And I know, I'll admit, sometimes I don't realize it. So, that's why. And even when Neil, aka Eugene, listens to my videos, he was let me know, like, hey, I'm always going off tangent before I start with the actual topic, right? And that's exactly what I'm doing in this one. Lately, I just haven't really been, going off topic that much, or like, just going off tangent to start off with videos. But and it's like I'm doing it again, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? So, look, man, getting back to this dump rant. See, I don't want to talk about my dump no more, since I'm going off tangent and just laughing at myself. Ha 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 ha. You see, Dewey said this about me. Ha 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 ha. Neil, ha. God damn it. I'm going to talk about my dump. So like I said, my mom and I just went on a back and forth, and she saw how passionate I was, and just, no holds barred. I need to get the hell out of that place, man. And I told her straight up, I've been wanting to get out of there a long time ago. I told her even all these guys know it. From Russ to Eugene to a boss to Ray to even all my ex-close friends. It's just been a long story, and unfortunately, I'm still here. And I get it if this was a new job that I'm in, and if my mom said that, regardless, I agree with what she said. But unfortunately, in this case, for me, it's like I have to, because I'm in this dump, I have to disagree about staying put. And she knows this, that it's like a lot of times when I come home, my energy is at an all-time low, and it's still an all-time low. You factor in my ex-close friendships memorial wall, the fact that I'm sitting there feeling useless as I've been, and just doing lesser and lesser work. I get that her workplace is the same way too, where she hardly has, it's hardly ever busy like my dump is. But I mean, come on, man. Like a graphic artist, a graphic designer, for Christ's sake. Just look at what Michael's doing. I'm talking about Popstar Michael, that famous fool. That gets a lot of women and all that. I heard he has a girlfriend now, but I don't know. I may not, don't really care much. But since I'm not on social media no more, but I've seen him do t-shirt designs. I've seen him do what do you call it? I've seen him do like labels, and it's a lot of t-shirt designs. Look, a graphic designer has to have a variety of design projects. It can't just be just for print, or just for print, just for whatchamacallit, just for digital, just for print, just for layout, just for, you know what I'm saying? That's not how graphic design works. In the graphic design field, you gotta grow. That's why in every interview, why the number one question is to, that I'm asked is, why do I want to leave my dump? And I always tell them, I'm straight up, I gotta expand my career. And what the heck is going on over there, man? Dude, what is going on, man? What? I rarely ever go on this street going to my dump, and I'm seeing like a crowd of people. Just one person is waving the American flag. The other one, I'm not sure what that is. and there's some clouds right there. I had to slow down a bit. I don't know what's going on, but none of my business. I mean, right now I'm worried about getting a new job that I've been battling for some time, and after what transpired in 2023, I mean, that's already a telltale sign that I should have already left with them. I should have been among the almost 20 people that left, but no, I'm still there. I mean, how many more signs am I gonna see in that dump to where I should have already left? And yeah, I'm still there. For goodness sake, Amari just left. We've seen a lot of these people just leave, and it's like, unfortunately, I'm still here. I mean, I'm not gonna forget what happened during the pandemic. I'm not gonna forget that. The fact that Mr. Cheap decided to keep everyone in this congested office, when almost everyone is working from home, and for whatever reason he decides to keep us around, and with the whole social distancing, even though our desks are like not even, they're not well spread enough to where at that time one of us doesn't get infected. And now look what's happened. It had to take somebody getting COVID, just for most of us to work from home. And even my family's got affected. I'll never forget that. I'll also never forget the almost 20 people that left in 2023. You see why I'm not talking to anyone right now? You see why I'm not rocking with them? I don't care if I'm cool with them. I mean, like some of these guys, hey, if they want to ask me how's my weekend, did I have a good weekend? Cool. I'll respond. Yeah, it's cool. Keep it short and simple, right? After that, that's it. Go on my business. I'm just talking straight up work. That's it. Unless it's sports, I'm not talking about nothing. I don't talk to these guys about anything. I don't talk. I don't socialize like that. What the heck is happening here? That light is not working, dude. You got so many bad things just happening to me since the almost 20 people that left. And for whatever reason, I'm still there. All these happenings, even the sales team are getting berated, because it's their fault that during the high inflation period that they're not making any sales. You got Terrence trying to make a solid point, and nobody wants to hear any of that real talk. Hell, nobody in that dump wants to hear any real talk. I mean, these guys don't want any pushback. That's why you have that stubborn-minded company president who's never going to retire for the life of us. That's why I just lost complete and utter respect for a place like that. That is not a normal workplace to be in. And all I'm seeing are the same people I see every single day. Timmy, Sean, Anna, Martine. No disrespect to any of those guys. I mean, I don't have any beef with them, but I'm not even talking to any of them anymore. Even Johnny, dude. And that's my guy, but I don't, and Ernie too, but I don't even talk to those guys. I don't talk, man. So my thing is, I need to get out of there. Regardless of what my mom says. I get it. I get her suggestion. It's not, and I'm not denying it, but my problem is I'm still in that dump that I need to have left a long time ago. And it's just sad that I'm still here and just, day after day, I'm just feeling more and more useless. I don't want to stay put until I officially leave. That's me leaving on a bad note. I don't want to leave in those kind of terms, dude. When everyone else left, When everyone else left, they're already finding their happiness. Even Paula, Laura, they've moved on well. Paula just got married. You know what I'm saying? It's guys like them that are finding their happiness and joy in their while in their new jobs since they left. I could have been one of those people, but I'm still there. Sadly. And you expected me to stay put in a place. Look, you want to say, oh yeah, some people are lucky, you're lucky you have a job, even if it's this and that. And I get that some people like Dewey, who's like a notorious goddamn name for people who are jobless, right? And for fools like him, it's probably what, 12, 13 years now, 13 straight years that he hasn't had a job. Come on, man. Like, I'm literally tired of just dragging myself going into this goddamn place. I have nothing to prove anymore. If this was my first year and it was busy and I'm late like this every single day, then I get it. I have a right to be criticized. You know what I'm saying? If it was busy like that. But no, it ain't like that. I mean, I'm not seeing the same kind of drama that I've seen, like, after almost 20 people left in 2023. It's just kicking back. I mean, I guess this is what they want, all these lifers. And let me just say this, man. This is further proof as to why I'm feeling my time in this dump for 13 years. Apart from how I've gotten hired in that goddamn place, I still never got a promotion, dude. Carlos asked me this before. Did I ever get a promotion? I said no. But I will say this: at Knott's Berry Farm, when I only lasted for like a month there, literally a month, I had a promotion. Yes. Seriously, dude. I am not kidding anyone listening to this video when I said that I had a promotion. Hell, I get more praise over there, for doing my job as a park services attendant, just sweeping and, doing all the fun stuff. And it's like, yeah, I got a lot of these people like that are guests and all that, like customers just being entertained by my lightning speed of, just sweeping, trash can, whatever it is. Although I get the most entertainment out of, from just sweeping at lightning speed, you know what I'm saying? I don't get any praise like that here. Typing fast, I mean, Lagos praise my quickness, but it's easy. He's only one of the cool people, the many cool people that left that would ever praise me for stuff. Not these clown-ass lifers. Not these clown-ass lifers. Yeah, I got a promotion for shift lead, but I had to leave just before school started. If I had a strong enough mentality, I would have been able to juggle both work and school. And I'm getting nothing like that here. All I got is like 2 awards. One's a 10-year. One is like what? Chago Award, hardworking. But after that, that's it. I'm getting nothing else, dude. Who cares if I'm late? I'm done. Peace. Thank you for watching, everyone. Like, share, and subscribe.